Hello YouTube, today I'm going to talk about non-interventionism as my foreign policy, opposed to progressive foreign policy, which wants to intervene for humanitarian aid, and they want to intervene for all the reasons under the sun. Now, as you know, I am a staunch conservative in the style of Patrick Buchanan, Jared Taylor, the American Conservative magazine, the Chronicles magazine, Ron Paul, Samuel Francis, Thomas Fleming, basically the paleoconservative old right. Basically, we love Robert Taft because Robert Taft had a strong strain of non-interventionism. And we, as conservatives, even though we disagree with the libertarians on a great many of issues, we agree on non-interventionism. And I would recommend a book called Where the Right Went Wrong by Patrick J. Buchanan. How neoconservatives subverted the Reagan Revolution and hijacked the Bush presidency. Now, I'm not a big fan of Reagan because I feel that Reagan was too progressive and too into the progressive nature of politics, and that basically, which is understandable because he was a former Democrat, so he had progressive thoughts before he ran for the Republican nomination. But the thing is that the United States military should not be policing the world. We shouldn't be intervening in Iraq. We shouldn't be intervening in Iran. We shouldn't be intervening in Kosovo. We should not be intervening in Somalia. We should not be intervening in South Africa, either economically or socially or militarily. We should not intervene in South Africa. We should not intervene in Tibet. We should not intervene in Rwanda, and certainly we should not intervene in Darfur, Sudan, because Darfur, Sudan doesn't even affect us. It doesn't affect the United States of America, so we should not intervene in foreign wars and foreign conflicts. And I feel a lot of progressives feel that we should go into Darfur and police the world, and they love the United Nations, when I, personally as a conservative, hate the United Nations. And I believe that the United Nations, instead of promoting peace, they promote war. Because what they do is, this is how I think the United Nations basically promotes war. So, it's a bunch of bureaucrats sitting in New York City, just looking at the state of affairs of the world, and they see human crisis or genocide, and then they basically organize a military force and basically order the international community to invade a country. And right now the United Nations is pushing for an invasion of Sudan to stop the genocide. Now, intervention, in my opinion, basically does nothing to help people. It only basically helps perpetuate death and suffering, and also gives an excuse for the state to expand. So, and it's none of our business. So, I am a non-interventionist conservative, and I believe that intervening in Darfur, Iran, and Iraq should not be an option for America. And the one thing I don't really like about the progressive left is that they agree that Iraq was a mistake, which I agree with. Iraq was a mistake, but they disagree with the war for the wrong reasons. They say, we oppose Iraq and we want to bring the troops home because with all the money going to Iraq, we could actually use all that money going to Iraq to basically social engineer American society and expand social programs and big government socialism in America. Like, I was actually listening to a progressive speak today, and she said, yeah, we should pull out of Iraq so we could use the money from the military to actually promote socialism and Marxism in the United States through nationalized health care, through teachers' unions, through all that, those frivolous spending. But yeah, we should not be intervening in other people's business. 9/11 happened because we intervened in the Middle East. Just listen to what Osama bin Laden says in this book. This is what he says, and this is why we got attacked during 9/11. To kill Americans and their allies, both civil and military, is an individual duty of every Muslim who is able in any country where this is possible. Until the Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem and the Haram Mosque in Mecca are freed from the grip, and until their armies, shattered and broken-winged, depart from all the lands of Islam incapable of threatening any Muslim. By God's leave, we call on every Muslim who believes in God and hopes for a reward to obey God's command to kill the Americans and plunder their possessions wherever he finds them and whenever he can. Likewise, we call on the Muslim ulama and leaders and youth and soldiers to launch attacks against the armies of the American devils and against those who are allied with them, for among the helpers of Satan. In this declaration, Pat Buchanan, I'm quoting Pat Buchanan now. In this declaration, Osama bin Laden sought to identify himself both with the cause of the purification of the Islamic world and with the Arab populist nationalist causes, ridding the Middle East of American puppet regimes, expelling Israel from Arab land, ending the looting of the wealth of Arabia, and standing beside the persecuted Iraqis. To defeat bin Laden and crush al-Qaeda, U.S. strategy should have been to narrow the conflict and isolate them from every Arab and Islamic center of power, as we did in Afghanistan. When Libya, Iran, Pakistan, and even Sudan supported us, instead, listening to the neoconservatives, Bush invaded Iraq and united the Arab world against us, isolated us from Europe, and fulfilled to the letter bin Laden's prophecy as what we were all about. We won the war in 3 weeks, and we may have lost the Islamic world for a generation. So that is the cause of intervention. The cause of intervention is terror. The cost of empire, the cost of occupation, the cost of oppression and suppression is terrorism. They're attacking us over here because we are over there. The neoconservatives always say that if we fight them over there, they won't come over here. Well, bozo, they came over here because we were over there. We were over there first, then they came over here. So by staying over there, we basically are in a perpetual war for perpetual peace. Thank you very much. Bye. And for all you progressives who want to invade Sudan and stop the genocide in Darfur, yeah, you are tyrants, and please don't drag the United States into another unworthy, bloody war. Thank you very much. Ron Paul, 2008.